Hi, I'm Brian Heidelberger, a partner with the law firm of Winston & Strawn in Chicago, here today with your mini law lesson. Today's law lesson, I solved the patent troll problem in under 6 minutes. Sound crazy? Well, not as crazy as this world of patent trolls that we're living in. So today you've got my standard disclaimer, but in addition, I wanted to let you know I am a junior inventor and have patented a few things that you'll be hearing about in this mini law lesson. For example, I've patented the idea of watching a mini law lesson, and that sound means that you owe me a bit of money. Now, what is this patent troll problem all about? Well, patent trolls are those that don't create things themselves, but they buy patents and take advantage of them by asserting threats of litigation. Now, settlements that they offer are generally well below the cost of actual litigation, and as we know, litigation is very costly and very risky, and because of that, the majority of patent troll cases settle, and this is costing the advertising industry in excess of $10 million a year. Now, patents themselves are somewhat fuzzy in nature, and because of this ambiguity, the patent trolls are able to take advantage of that, as well as take advantage of the fact that it's very time-intensive to search for patents, as well as very costly to search them. They also pit the advertisers and the agencies against each other and take advantage of that as well. Now, how does this impact the advertising world? Well, as we know, agencies generally run preliminary trademark searches, at least when clearing trademarks. And with respect to copyrighted material, they either create original works or they obtain a license. And of course, they get insurance to cover those gaps when they might miss some sort of problem. But with patents, it's different. Running a search, as I mentioned, is very hard and expensive, and creating original works doesn't completely get you around the problem. And insurance really is cost prohibitive or not available for most advertisers and agencies. Now, because all advertising agencies these days are getting into digital, and the fact that patents are very hard to interpret, as we discussed, and most importantly, because these patents are being asserted over commonly used technologies, things that everybody is using and everybody assumes is okay, what we've got is a perfect storm for patent trolls. Oh, you heard that sound again, and what does that mean? Well, that means that I have a patent on you eating your lunch and half paying attention to a person, and again, that means that you owe me a bit of money and you'll be receiving my invoice shortly. So, what kind of patent claims have been asserted? Well, a great myriad. Recently, some patent claims have been asserted over QR codes. Previously, patent claims have been asserted over the use of text message in marketing. And patents have been asserted over just the idea of hooking up a network scanner and emailing a PDF. All kinds of crazy things that nobody assumed was patented are being asserted by patent trolls. Now, how can advertising agencies protect themselves? We'll talk about advertisers in a second, but for advertising agencies, the 4A's has put out some patent risk guidance, and their belief is that this patent troll problem is a cost of doing business for advertisers. They know that searching for agencies is time and cost prohibitive, and that they're asking agencies really to act as insurers, and because of that, the advertiser should assume the risk. Now, if not, the 4A's suggest the agencies factor into this risk into their pricing models and assume that you're going to get maybe one or two claims at up to $200,000 a year when you're pricing all of your projects. Now, if indemnifying your clients at all, the 4A's suggest that the indemnity should have some limits and some caps on liability to make sure that you are protected. The 4A's has also suggested that agencies should design flexible software so it can maybe swap things in and out easily and try to use those features that have been on the market for quite a while. Now, that doesn't fully protect you, as we know, but it might help you share the risk with others. Now, they recommend, if you're getting into this space, watch for patent claims and do searching when using new technologies that you've never seen anyone use before. Investigate insurance coverage, but as we discussed, that can be expensive and cost prohibitive. And don't take responsibilities for your subcontractors to the extent that you can. Some additional thoughts for agencies. Do you really want to get in digital? If you're not a digital agency, there are inherent risks in that. And it's not just so easy to throw out a shingle and say, hey, we do digital. You are taking on this patent troll risk, which may be better assumed by those who have the financial processes in place in order to protect themselves. And can we subcontract liability away? Well, maybe if we're hiring a big agency to create something for us. But the majority of digital providers are often very small, and even if you get them to indemnify you and your client, if they have no insurance, that's probably not worth the paper that it's written on. Another thought is developing internal processes for dealing with these issues, and that's something that you should discuss internally. Now, what about advertisers? How can advertisers protect themselves? Well, their view is this is really the agency's responsibility. They are the expert in digital, and if they're not the expert, they shouldn't be playing in this space. Now, vis-a-vis the agency and the advertiser says that the agency is the best position to determine the risk and to do the searching and to highlight it to the client if searching is necessary. They also point to the fact that the agency is traditionally responsible for third-party rights like copyright and right of publicity, and this is nothing different. So what do advertisers do to protect themselves? Well, they certainly are trying to foist this liability onto the agencies, but of course, that's not foolproof. And additional steps need to be taken because many of your agencies aren't going to be able to stand up and handle the litigation in the event that it occurs because they don't have the insurance or the wherewithal. You might want to, as an advertiser, develop some internal policies and procedures for how to deal with this. Consider searching and suggesting searching to your agencies, as well as monitor the current cases and threats of cases that are going on into the market. But very importantly, because many of these claims come after you've been using a certain technology for a while, assuming that it's okay, factor into your marketing budget some amount to deal with these patent claims. Many settle for under $100,000. Many settle for under $200,000, but assume that you're going to get one or two of these a year, and they won't be such a terrible surprise when they do come. Now, the ANA and the 4As have suggested that the advertising agencies and the advertisers collaborate to share the risk. They deal with this through agreements in caps on liabilities and minimum thresholds on agency liability. They're asking people to take legislative action together and also undertake proactive patent challenges together to go after some of these patents that are out there. So that's it for today. I appreciate you watching. Oh, and there's that noise again, because I've patented looking at my Twitter handle, at Bry Heidelberger. Please follow me, and whether you do or not, you still owe me for that patent license. And if you're looking for more of these mini law lessons, you can go to youtube.com/adage or youtube.com/Brian Heidelberger. I hope you enjoyed it, and just remember, be careful.